In this video, we are going to learn about magnetism. Please make sure you have your Chapter 4 worksheet with you as you are going to fill in some of the blanks. Okay, so are you ready? Okay, so the objectives of these videos are as follows. You will first recall some facts about magnetism, and then you will learn about what a magnetic field is. Okay, so here are some of the everyday items that make use of magnets. For example, hard disk drives store data on a magnetic surface. Okay, here, so this is the when you open the hard disk drive, you actually see this is the magnetic surface and this is the reader. Okay, so this is what the inside of the hard disk drive looks like. Of course, your credit cards store data on a magnetic strip. So if you turn to the back of your credit card, you will see this magnetic strip, and this is where the data is stored. Okay, and of course, one common item that most of you should have is a headphone and speakers. And headphones and speakers contain magnets so as to produce sound. Of course, the details of how the sound is produced, we are not going to go into it here. Okay, so some facts of magnets. So you will realize that you will know that a magnet has two poles, one called north and the other called south. Okay, there are two common kinds of magnets. This is called a bar magnet. The north pole is here and the south pole is here. This is called a horseshoe magnet. It's basically a bent bar magnet. So the north pole is here and the south pole is here. So a common magnetic material includes iron, but also nickel and cobalt. So your Singapore coins have nickel and in them, and that's why they will stick to a magnet. Okay, a magnet is placed on an iron filing, a plate of iron filings. So as you can see in the picture here, the iron filings, okay, basically iron filings are iron powder, and they follow a certain shape. Okay, so this is how the iron filings look like, and perhaps if you want to draw them in your worksheet, you can do so, and it's just simply the iron filings have this shape like that. Okay, so you can see that this diagram has the same shape as the iron filings. Okay, so a magnetic field. What is a magnetic field? Magnetic field is a region in space where a magnet exerts a force. So in this picture here, you will see that there's a magnet here, and the area around the magnet is a magnetic field. And so the magnetic field exerts a force on these iron filings, causing them to go in this particular shape. Okay, so what you saw previously, the force was exerted on all these thousands of iron filings and moving them to produce the shape of the magnetic field. Okay, so we can, as you saw, we can also draw these lines to represent a magnetic field. Okay, so let's draw the lines here. Okay, and this one as well at the bottom. Okay, and then now for these lines we can add in some extra information. So suppose the north pole of the magnet is here and the south pole of the magnet is here. So the magnetic field lines go from north to south. So we just draw the arrows this way. Okay, these are the arrows. Okay, so next part. Okay, what if we put some compasses around the magnet? Okay, so before we place the magnet, the compasses point in random directions, as you can see. So all these compasses point in random directions. But once we put the magnet in, okay, you see that the compasses point in very specific directions. Okay, oops. Okay, so once you put the magnet in, you can see that the compasses point in very specific directions. Notice that this compass points away from the north. Notice that the compass, the arrowhead, points towards the south. Okay, notice that these compasses, the arrowhead points away from the north. Notice that these compasses, now this compass is now pointing towards the south. Look at this arrowhead here. Look at this arrowhead here, the compass is pointing towards the south. Look at this arrowhead here, the compass is pointing towards the south. Okay, so we can fill in the diagram in the worksheet. Okay, as follows. Okay, so let's say this is the north and this is the south. So arrowhead goes here, goes this way, points towards the south. Arrowhead, the compass here points towards the south. Here the arrow will point away from the north, and here the arrow will point towards the south. Okay, so that's how the arrows in the compasses around a magnet will point. And what's the reason for this? Is because the area around the magnet is a magnetic field and will exert a force on a magnet, and a compass is a magnet as well. Okay, so the compass will behave accordingly, just like the iron filings, okay, as it's in a magnetic field. Okay, so let's draw the compass arrows again. Okay, so north, north, okay, north. Okay, and then okay, this should point towards the south. Okay, let's erase this. Okay, let's make it better. Okay, so this one points towards the south, points towards the south, points towards the south, point towards the south. Okay, so compass arrows basically is what you see concretely as represented by the magnetic field lines. Okay, so as you can see, the magnetic field lines, okay, we draw arrows here. This arrow here is in the same direction as this compass. This arrow here is the same direction as this compass. Okay, and this arrows here is in the same direction as this compass, and this arrows here is the same direction as this compass. Okay, and this arrow here, okay, this compass here is represented by these arrows, slanting arrows. Yeah. Okay, so the magnetic field lines actually represent, okay, how a compass would actually point if it's placed at that particular point. In other words, magnetic field lines and the direction of arrows on the compass are the same. Okay. All right. So in this video, you have learned about the magnetic field. You have learned about north and south. Okay. You have learned about the magnetic field. Okay, and you have also learned about how we represent a magnetic field using magnetic field lines. Okay, so let's go this way. Okay, and we learned that we can use a compass to see the direction of the magnetic field at any point in time. Okay, so this is the end of video 1, and you are ready for video 2 to continue with the worksheet.